we want to talk about is the pH balance. Anybody ever heard of the pH balance? Mm-hmm. Okay, anybody know what pH stands for?
No.
Okay. pH stands for potential hydrogen. Okay? So if you look at this chart, every food item and drink you drink is either going to be acidic, basic meaning alkaline, meaning it has life, or something neutral, like that has, there's a level of alkalinity, like a vegetable that's fresh and ripe will have a high level of alkalinity in it. The soda that is past you, that's going to have a high level of acid in it. So acid does harm to our cells and lowers our immune system, and there's a lot more other things as well too. So we want to be more on the acidic, alkaline side, but we do have acid in our system, so you don't want to be 100% alkaline, because remember you do have actually 20 to 100 milliliters of acid that's in your stomach area to help break down food. So we just don't want to add much more than that to that. That's what's going to cause the problem. So you want to focus more on this alkaline side. Certain waters you'll find, we'll talk about this in a minute as well, is could be acid and it could be alkaline. You ever seen alkaline water? Mm-hmm. All right, so, and again, that's what they try to do here, is make the water more alkaline. It's better for you, process it better for you, better on your cells, better on your body. Some waters, just be careful, have a lot of salt in it, a lot of acid in it, like your Deer Parks and Aquafina. You know, you can actually test the alkalinity by getting some strips you can test and test the acid. You can buy it from the vitamin shop or what have you to test the water to see how acid your water is, like what kind of alkaline content you have in it. So that's the pH balance there. And we'll go to the next screen here. And this look familiar to anybody?
Yeah.
This is the signs that you need to cleanse. Okay? So your body tells you everything. So you have to pay attention to it, and also you just have to look at it. So sometimes it's going to let you know what's going on internally, then it starts to let you know externally. So signs that you need to cleanse, you're going to have some sugar cravings. You have a vagus nerve. You want to spell that? I can spell it for you. VAGUS nerve. It's connected to your gut, to your brain. Okay, sugar cravings comes from that nerve. If you feed your gut good food, it's going to want good food. It's going to tell your brain, I want good food. If you feed the gut bad food, that means it's going to tell you, like, hey, we need bad food. That's how that craving starts. So there's a nerve called the vagus nerve that's connected from your gut to your brain. You ever heard of you are what you eat, right? So you become that. And it's kind of the truth, I think. Now, constipation, obviously, I talked about food cravings, bloating, gas, skin problems, low energy, bad breath. Bad breath, I'm going to kind of go back and forth with this slide over here because it's very important. Bad breath doesn't start from your mouth, okay? You ever heard of halitosis? All right, halitosis don't start from the mouth. Halitosis start from right here. All right, so what's going on is the waste that's been trapped in your gut has been fermenting and protruding and rotten. So it's making toxins and gas come from that area and it's coming out through your mouth. Okay? So that's what halitosis is, and that's what bad breath is. So if you have a bad gut, then if you don't watch it, you might have bad breath. You'll wake up in the morning, well, and your breath might not be smelling so hot. I mean, maybe you have some stuff in there that's been, not been doing too well. Your body is at 97, 98 degrees. It's cooking. Okay, so the food that you eat after 9 p.m., we'll talk about that in a second, is cooking and is not being processed. And because of that, it's causing toxins and smells that come from that area. Things are rotting out in there. Okay, we'll talk about that in a second. All right, so, oh, by the way, cells. Anybody know how many cells is in your body? Oh,
You just
said 2?
102.
102? Oh, don't look it up. Yeah, thanks for your participation, Karen. There are 30 trillion cells in your body.
Wow.
You were this far.
How many you got?
30 trillion. I don't know exactly how much in your gut, but it's a lot. Because your cells is not just in your blood, it's in the walls of your colon, and in the walls of everywhere. So there are 30 trillion. It's a lot to spread around. So cells need water, oxygen, and also needs nutrients from food to live. And we'll talk about that too. I'm going to just remember these things I'm saying because I'm going to connect these dots a little bit later, okay? The pineal gland. You ever heard of the pineal gland? Okay. Pineal gland. It's about this small, looks like a pine if you really get a microscope, and it's right in the middle of your head there in this vortex area. Is called the third eye, we call it socially. All right. So the pineal gland controls the hormones in your system and also controls the rhythm of your organs and hormones. Okay, so pineal gland produces actually melatonin and actually produces serotonin. You guys know what melatonin does?
Sleep.
That's right. So it secretes melatonin after 9 o'clock, and it's going to help you kind of mellow down. And serotonin, it secretes that in the morning, so it's going to help you rise up. Sunrise or serotonin. So that's one of the things the pineal gland does. There's foods that you eat can calcify the pineal gland. Okay, you guys heard of Adolf Hitler, right? Okay, what he did was he actually used fluoride and gave that to his people and calcified their pineal gland. Once that pineal gland is calcified, you're easy to be manipulated, easy to be brainwashed. Okay, so that's one of the things he used to do that, and that's one of the things fluoride does. It actually calcifies that pineal gland. It's very small. Bad foods and processed foods can also calcify it. Now you can, that's right. Now you can actually optimize your pineal gland by eating proper food. When people start eating better, you start thinking better, hearing better, brain critical thinking, everything goes up. What's that?
A food coma.
That's right. Right. You know, and that's what happens with your pineal gland. It starts to enhance. It starts to really start to grow. Now, talked a little bit about the cleanse. And let's talk about this part. This is really interesting. These are signs. You can really self-diagnose yourself by looking at someone's face. Look at yourself, okay? We're going to touch a few things real quick. I can print this out for you guys later if you guys want one. Your colon, I don't have to go back to the picture, but your colon has pores in it. The 25 feet long colon, small intestines, right? So just like your hairs in your arms, it creates like a straw. So once the food goes through it, it starts to pull it in to your colon. Each part of your colon is going to feed a part of your body through your bloodstream. Okay, you have the small colon, small part, top part of your colon, mid part, and you got the lower part. And you have everything else around it. That's just going to start feeding your body through your blood system by using that pores in that colon, just like in your arm, and it's going to pour it in. Now, if you're not getting enough nutrition or having a small intestine problem, like having some gut issues, one of the signs you know that is by looking at your forehead. If you have a bunch of bumps and kind of rashes up there, that's the waste that's trying to come out and is being irritated, or you're not getting rid of enough waste. So that's because your waste is trying to come out some kind of way, so it's going to come out through that side there. If you have any darkness around your eyes, that can mean stagnation of blood. Your blood's not moving the way it should. A little bit of stagnation of blood. Colorful eyes, maybe green, yellow tints and hues. Kidney problems. Stomach problems. You might have bumps around this area here. Pancreas problems might be in the middle there. So your face is going to tell you a lot what's going on with your body, which is very interesting. Puffy face or eyes. You might see folks that looks like more likely it's going to be kidney issues, too much water being produced in your body, trying to flush out your system, because that's what your kidneys are good for. They flushes out your system to help get rid of waste. And by the way, your kidneys hold about 1,500 milligrams of salt already in your kidneys. The salt helps retain water. And when it needs to, it helps flush out your system. So you don't want to eat no more than 23 or have anything more than 2,300 milligrams of salt in your system, because your body doesn't need it. You already have the salt in there, okay? But what your kidneys does is it helps flush out any synthetic material in it. And the water, try drinking water, will help flush it out as well. Any questions on that? Again, I can produce this slide if you guys may want one. Any questions there? Okay, now here's some interesting stuff here. How long does the food stay in your system? Well, this is just your stomach. So if you eat beef, it takes about 180 minutes to digest it from your stomach and go down to your duodenum and goes to the process we talked about earlier with your colon getting cleaned out and all that good stuff. So about 180 minutes is there. That's just the meat. We ain't take the bread and everything else go along with it, because you can't put the bread and cheese and then, the fries and everything else that goes that you have with your meal. That's going to be about a 3 or 4 hour process that's sitting in your stomach before it even gets to the other part of the process. All right. That's the red meat. How about chicken? 90 to 120 minutes in terms of it staying in your stomach. So what's going on in your stomach? You remember what we talked about?
Cooking.
Well, in your stomach, you got to break down the food in your mouth, and then we talked about the acid in your stomach that's going to help make it and turn it into a soup. So it's taking out solid food that you ate and it's trying to turn it into a soup, because it can't get through the tube and get through that process without it turning into a soup. Okay, and that's what it's trying to do in your stomach. And you ever the acid reflux? Okay, you know what happens and why that happens, or heartburn? Well, because you have acid in your stomach, if your body can't process the food that's in your stomach because it's too chunky, maybe you crunch it down good enough or chew it good enough, your body says, okay, you're very sophisticated, your system is. Hey, we can't process this steak that's in your system or your stomach, so we got to turn the acid up to be able to eat up that clump steak or chicken, and in doing so, you start to feel the burn. Or you might feel a little acid reflux, because your acid in your system has to go up to be able to break down the food that you failed to do while you chewed it. And it had problems doing with your natural sugar or natural acid that's already in your stomach. Okay? Make sense? All right. Now, fish, 45 minutes, 60 minutes, not bad. And potatoes, 90 to 120. It's a lot of potatoes.
You just go with one, could you?
And not just potatoes, it's really like carbs, a lot of your carbs. And then cooked vegetables, as you notice, is about 40 minutes there. As you see, the time is getting lower and lower. What is that telling you? And fruits and vegetables takes 15, 20 minutes. That's raw fruits and vegetables. Your body can assimilate fruits and vegetables a lot easier because this is natural food and you're a natural species and human being. You're a natural person. So you have to assimilate what you eat and what you are. So that's why you see that happening that way. Water takes no time. It flushes right through. Yep. We'll talk about water in a second. Any questions so far?
Well, no, I've heard that if it's cold water, it'll take a lot longer for your body.
That's right. Yep, I was going to get to that. Cold water, your body's at 98, 98 degrees. If you drink cold water, it's going to give yourself thermal fatigue. All right, because your organs, just imagine if you have a cut and you put cold water in that, it's going to kind of sting. right? And it's going to shock it. So that's what's happening in your organs. When you drink cold water or hot foods, it's going to give it thermal fatigue, which is going to expand your organ, those organs we talked about. So it's not going to take you out, but it's just wear and tearing your organ out. So in due time, if you harm it with other things, so now you really wear and tearing your organs, it's going to start to have some issues later on. The more you kind of do damage, the more it's going to have some issues. So it's best to drink water, to Diana's point, lukewarm. Remember, your body's at 98 degrees, so it doesn't have to do much to assimilate it, and you can digest it faster. Thanks for pointing that out, Dana. Pass that out there. This is a BMI chart. That was, give you one. Make sure I get around everybody. There you go, sir. There you go here. I want to share that one. All right, so let's talk about this BMI chart. Now, this is, the last time this was updated was, the last time this was updated was in 98. 1998. What's that?
My height isn't on here.
Oh, it's not on there? Oh, man. They cut you off. But yeah, this is the BMI chart. They no longer use this chart. Yeah, most folks no longer use this chart. So they have a different chart now. That's because folks have gotten a little bit bigger, heavier, and I guess the American people, and we're not as small as we used to be. Okay, look at how we used to look in the 80s. Look how we look now. So foods change, things change. So they created a whole new metric system for that, and they're still trying to figure things out with the metric system. But if you go by this old metric system, if you want to use this, how you read it.
That's a tough chart.
Have you figured out how to do it?
Oh, I know.
It's like bingo or something. So you go to your height.
Yep,
I'm 5'11".
just say.
And I weigh about 185.
No, sorry.
So I'm right over the overweight side. So I am a little overweight for myself. I'm right on the borderline.
So there's not a male and a female version?
Well, this is a male and female.
Oh, it's both.
This is the body mass index. Yeah. Yep.
Based off your body.
Right. So I'm a little. I should be around 180. But 185, I'm okay. I can make things happen.
I didn't hear what you said.
What's that? How to read the chart?
Repeat that again.
As relates to how to read it, find your weights, BMI.
Yeah.
Well, you go to the left side, which is the height. Mm-hmm. And you look on the bottom of that chart, you see the weight, okay? And you just move to the right of that and find your weight. So you just coordinate it that way.
Gave her both.
All right. So, well, today they use a different metric system. So it's probably about 5 pounds above that, not too far off. But they use a different metric system. But that was been used up until like 2021. Wow. Yeah. So that's what they've been using. The doctor's been using it, and medical professionals and also trainers been using it. I was using that for a while too as I train people. You can still use it. It's still a good guide. That's still a good zone to be in. But like I said, that's like the 80s and 90s body. But you guys good?
Chart just because of that.
Yep, so this puts you in a category here. Okay, you have normal, if you're 18 to 24, you're normal. 25 to 29, you're overweight. 30 to 34, you're obese. And extremely obese at 35. Any questions on that?
You're just trying to grow.
Dinah was talking. We didn't hear you.
Time to keep talking. Now it's just telling you, puts you in a category. So use that. It puts you in a category.
And this chart gave me hope.
Okay.
23.
Yep. Again, this is the BMI chart.
I'm there now.
Okay, this is the BMI chart. So you 410? All right, so this, now to your point, Valerie, it breaks it down here. Okay, so someone 4'10", because average, I know what the average height of a woman is in America?
5'4".
Damn, we good. Yep. Do you know what the average weight? Do you know what the average weight for the average American?
Let's not worry about all that.
Well, what the weight? How about the weight?
I don't know, I'm gonna say 162.
That's pretty close. 170 currently is the weight of most the women in America. 170. 170. Yep. How about men? You know the average height for a man?
5'10".
5'10". You know what the average weight for a man?
180.
200.
Average weight currently for men is 165.
What?
Yeah, men weigh less than women currently.
What y'all trying to prove?
I ain't trying to prove anything. What y'all trying to prove? But that's just something good to know. So there's some issues there, but in due time we'll hopefully figure that out. So, but this is a good chart to kind of follow as well. Next slide. Let's talk about drinking water. Let's see, anybody drink the water?
She's been trying to get some water the past 20 minutes.
We talked a little bit about it. So the importance of drinking water, it makes up 85% of your blood and your body. Okay, so it's very important. This is the foundation. We got to drink water. Okay, it removes waste in your system. If you don't have the hydration, your colon is going to be dry. And it's going to be hard for you to take the trash out. It can cause constipation because you have a lot of dryness in that colon area. So that's a good indication to know that you might be dehydrated. It accounts for 22% of bones, keeping that lubricated and hydrated. Cushions joints make 75% of muscle. Helps body absorb nutrients. Helps convert food into energy. Moistens oxygen for breathing. I'm going to tell you something. This is the truth. I was 5'10", and 6 years ago, when I went vegan and drinking more water, within 2 years, I grew an inch.
Diana. I know.
I actually grew.
That's it right there.
All right? Now, how does that happen?
I'm drinking all the water.
How does this happen? Do you know how this happened?
Your bones stretch out.
Yeah, you good. You need to come up here with me. Did you hear what she said? Say what she said.
His bones expand.
Exactly. So I just reached an optimal level. I've got the height I'm supposed to be. My dad's 5'11". And so I was able to expand. Me and Jenny was talking before, and she's into plants and agriculture. So I said, Jenny, take two plants, the same plant, all right? Put spring water in one and put Kool-Aid in the other one. Okay, which one's going to grow?
Spring water.
All right? Now put spring water in one and put tap water in the other one. Which one's going to grow or sprout the best? That's how it happened. So the bones expanded and moistened and expanded. Sugar and salt, as we talk about in a few more slides, it actually shrinks your bones. It dehydrates you. Right? So it makes the bones, it does opposite of this. So if you drink a lot of salt, or eat a lot of salt and sugar, you're going to have those issues where you're going to start to...
How much water do you need?
Oh, good point. Thanks for letting me know that. That's what I have on my list. Almost forgot that one.
At your height, you need about 82 gallons a day.
I might as well just become a mermaid.
Anybody have a calculator? You got calculators on your phone?
I got
All right, bring your phones out. Pull your phones out, everybody. We're going to calculate how much water you need to drink.
The measure.
All right? How much water do you need to drink per day? Because you're 85% water. You got to drink and eat what you mostly of. All right? So how much water? You might count the bottles of water I drink a day?
No.
I don't be seeing you. What?
Well, we're back in the cave. But I'm pouring bottles all day. I got to go
It's
chug.
like half your body weight in ounces.
There you go. So do the math. So take your body weight, divide that by 2.
I won't never sell a car. I'm just in the back.
No, you won't. You won't. Trust me.
There, so right.
Yeah. So
Body weight now?
yeah, that's
28.
128.
you got 128.
128 ounces in the gallon, but if I was half the body weight in ounces, that would be 80 ounces.
So it's 40.
So you're 80 ounces.
Yeah, but that seems low though. I'm doing
So
that.
go ahead, how much you weigh?
I'm doing about a gallon. I'm 160.
Yeah, so you're smaller, right? So you don't so you take the 80 ounces divided by 17.
So, yeah, how many is this? 32?
That's what it is.
All right, so 17 divided by 80 is probably going to be about 5.
Yeah, it's about 5
Yeah.
liters.
So this is what's
Seniors have to work on counting.
So those actually count again.
yeah. So this is what your body needs. Anything more than that is great, but you just have to be careful because you have to monitor your intake.
You can't like overdose on water.
Yeah, sure.
You can actually,
Yeah.
particularly if you're exercising.
Yeah. Now, here's a tip for you guys. It's great to drink water on an empty stomach, especially in the morning. What happens is increases your alertness and level, fuels the brain, reduces sickness and strengthens immunity, reduces toxins in your body, jumpstarts your metabolism, reinforces healthy weight loss, improves complexion and skin and radiance, promotes healthy hair growth, and also helps, because you haven't eaten anything yet, it just flushes out and flushes out your colon, and what we talked about earlier, and keeps that nice and hydrated. So what I do every morning is I get myself together, brush teeth, wash face, get everything going. Before I eat anything, I take my smoothie, I drink a half a bottle of water at least to get started. Sometimes a whole bottle, based on what I had the night before, if I had a drinking day or something. So, now, any questions on that? Pretty straightforward. All this stuff's making sense. All right, let's get some more good stuff here. All right, this is the way you can know what your urine color tells about your health. All right. Again, self-diagnosing, physically, internally. There's signs of a rare genetic disease.
Really?
If it's blue or green. Yep. So transparent. Signs of overhydration. So to your point, if you taking maybe 6 bottles of water, 8 bottles of water, you're probably good with 5. You might be in this zone here. So you just got to dial it back, just pace yourself, and eventually you'll start to develop a pattern, and you know what your body needs during that time. Pale yellow is healthy, hydrated. You want to kind of be in that zone between transparent and yellow there. Dark yellow is pretty good, but you might need to drink a little cup of water. So but you get kind of get in that yellow zone, like the warning area, right? Now, brownish and orange, signs of dehydration, possible signs of liver disease. If you guys drink a lot, beer, liquor, you might see that. And we'll talk about what liquor. Well, I can tell you now. Well, liquor and beer is sugar. Okay, sugar dehydrates you. All right, so if you don't drink a lot of water and drink beer, or liquor, you're gonna probably turn into that. Red, possible sign of kidney disease. And so these pretty much are here kind of like really big illnesses and kidney illnesses and rare diseases. You probably see those colors there. Or if you drink beet juice, it's gonna be red, possibly, yeah. Or multivitamins. It's going to be yellow initially, all right, or high yellow. Yeah. Yep, absolutely.